Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror.
Today we are doing our review on 2023's Baghead. This will be a spoiler review.
Right. So a little bit about the movie. A young woman inherits a rundown pub and discovers a dark secret within its basement, Baghead, a shape-shifting creature that will let you speak to lost loved ones, but not without consequence. So we're going to give you our positives, our negatives, and then again, we're going to spoil the movie. So make sure you're sticking around for that. But let's get right into the positives.
So we pretty much start with a spark, I guess, not a bang this time. The fire stunt in the beginning is very practical. It looks really well done. We'll talk about the rest of it later on. But the beginning start of the fire in the basement looks really well.
Yeah, the start of the fire stunt looks great.
Absolutely.
So does the creature design. And I'm not just talking about the actual Baghead part of it, but when you see the actual witch itself.
Yeah, creepy.
Yeah, very, very creepy. Very good idea to this movie. Mm-hmm. So I like the creature design of Baghead as well.
So the acting is phenomenal. Me and Ken have talked about it. It's one of the best acting movies of this year that we've seen so far. And yeah, it's really great. Kudos to all the actors and
everybody
actresses.
In this movie is extremely believable.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Ashley. I think while this may not be my favorite of the year, I think this is the best acted movie of the year. Every single person in this movie is extremely convincing, and the cinematography is beautiful. This movie is visually stunning.
Yes.
A lot of the transformation scenes, a lot of the stuff outside of the bar, it looks amazing. So visually, very, very stunning movie.
It's also very emotional. We're talking about death and talking about lost loved ones that people want to come and speak to, and just some of the things that they're saying, and it's very emotional, and definitely you feel it. You feel for them. You feel for their lost loved ones, and yeah.
The twist in this movie is a decent twist. It's a good idea, but at the same time, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And we'll get into that with the spoilers, but I say it's a decent twist because it was unexpected. Doesn't mean it should have happened. So I think that the twist itself, because I've always said, to me, the best horror movie is a drama wrapped up in a horror. Mm-hmm. That's this movie. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of love. Everything in between. And so when you get to the twist, it kind of pulls the rug out from underneath you, and you're just like, wait a minute, hold on. Really?
Yeah. So, I guess it wasn't needed necessarily to make the movie good or better.
It did not enhance the film at all. It just made you go, what? Yeah. Why? So, but we'll get into that in the spoilers. But first, we got to get into the negatives.
So guys, you remember a little bit ago when I said that the start of the fire was practical and looked really good? The CGI fire, not so much. Right. Again, it was a big fire. Obviously, budget reasons, they had to use CGI, but it looks bad.
Right. We can defend you for the budget. We understand it, but it doesn't change the fact that it doesn't look good.
Right.
And there's a lot of the VFX in this movie that are bad, and a lot of the times I don't blame that on the VFX, especially in a movie like this where the practical effects look so good and they're so well done. It's hard to be angry about VFX. Like we said, it's an indie film. They have a small budget. But when your practical effects look so good, it makes your VFX look that much worse. Mm-hmm. So was not a fan of the VFX in this movie.
I don't know if that's like a negative or...
or how good the practical was.
It's both, I guess. There were some cheap jump scares where, you're looking at a newspaper article and then you pull it down and there's a ghost. Yeah. And too many jump scares, I guess. You don't need a bunch of jump scares to be scary. A couple here and there that actually
make them work.
Yeah, like that's good. But when it's just like loud noises and someone's sitting there now, it's cheap.
And it's obvious. A lot of the jump scares in this movie are very obvious. You can see them coming a mile away. And that cheapens it to me. It makes it less effective. Speaking of less effective, a lot of the horror tropes they put in this movie get extremely frustrating. You can tell this was a short film. and it would work so well as a short film. I haven't seen the short film, so I can't give my opinion on it, but you could tell it was. And they used a lot of horror tropes to pad the runtime. There's something in the basement, but we can't go down there. Fuck it, let's do it anyway. Stuff like that, you know. So the amount of horror tropes they put in to lengthen the movie is frustrating. They should have used storytelling to lengthen the movie, not tropes. Yeah. So that was kind of a bummer to me.
And then there's this ridiculous dream sequence. It's just like, again...
you know it's a dream.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where I get frustrated. Like, there's no, oh my gosh, what's happening right now? You know it's a dream. Mm-hmm. And again, it's to pad the runtime.
Yeah, so it was just added for no reason other than to, yeah, like you said.
Lengthen the movie.
Lengthen the movie. You know what's going on. It just...
And it's
pointless.
Not scary.
Yeah,
you know what's going to happen. We were talking a little bit ago about the VFX. There's a scene where they're literally like...
like behind a green screen?
Yeah, and it looks so bad. And this one I question, like, why didn't you just run? Like, what would have been wrong with just running? Like, what possibly could have said, we just want to run in front of a green screen? Don't actually run, just do this in front of a green screen.
Just tired that day, okay?
I guess.
It was a bad day.
I guess, but again, it didn't. It just made it look goofy.
Yeah.
And in a part where you were actually building some good tension, you kind of killed it off with this goofy running scene.
Yeah,
so.
It was supposed to be like this scary, like dark time, and yeah, and then you have
oh no,
this goofy running scene. Yeah.
So, like I said, those are some of our negatives of the film. We are now going to give you some positives and negatives, but in a spoiler fashion. So, if you haven't seen the film, we strongly recommend you go and check it out. Like we said, best acted film of the year in our opinion. So, go check the film out and then come back and watch our spoilers. See if you agree with us. Okay, so when it comes to spoilers, you guys know, if it comes to mom stuff, I'm in. And there's a scene with a guy, his name is Neil, and he tries to bring back his wife, but the ring that he gives Baghead was his mother's first. So it brings back his mother that took her life when he was young, and the scene is sad and scary and heartfelt, and everything I love about horror was in this scene. Great acting, and then the thing is with Baghead, you get 2 minutes of the person, and then Baghead takes over. So after the 2 minutes, while I was talking to his mom, why did you take your own life? She's like, I would never do that, because she doesn't realize she's gone. Then when Baghead takes over, and she's like, I did it because I couldn't stand to look at your face anymore. And it was just like, ow.
Yeah.
Mom.
That one hurt.
Yeah, and I thought that was a very well acted scene. It was scary, and like I said, it was sad. And as someone who lost their mother, it was like, yes, I would love to have 2 more minutes with you just to tell you I love you, and I'm sorry, and I'm glad you didn't feel no pain, and I hope you're proud of me, because I was proud of you, and I still am. Like, that type of scene, it hit really hard for me.
Yeah. So speaking of
dead parents,
there's a dad speech. Obviously, he's gone now, the dad. That's how she took
Inherited
over this
pub.
In the speech on the video, because she's pretty much like this orphan at this point. Like, he wasn't in the picture, her mom is dead, and I'm not going to say why her mom is dead. Right. I think that's a really big spoiler that we'll leave out.
Yeah, we'll leave that one out.
But the speech on the video is just like, oh.
And it makes you realize why he pushed her away.
Yeah, and it's just like, you understand that...
Well, she gets the phone call at the beginning, and she's telling her friend, she's like, well, my dad's dead. And she's like, I thought you said your dad was dead. And she's like, well, he is now.
Yeah. So pretty much she told everybody, he's dead, or he's dead to me, because he wasn't in her life. And then he gives her this speech once he's gone. And it just sucks that she had to watch it over a video.
Right.
Like, he couldn't tell her in person that...
Well, then he does.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Then he does. And that's another great scene where right before Baghead takes over, he's like, do not bring me back again. Stop you. I love you. I'm sorry I wasn't there, but do not bring me back. Baghead will get in your head. It will take over. Now, we talked about a twist earlier. I don't like it. Again, the idea of it is okay. I don't like the execution of it because it's so unrealistic to me. You have Neil, who comes in, I just want to speak to my wife. I want to tell her goodbye. She died in a car accident. I love her. I miss her. I just want to... Well, then he finally does get his wife back, and he's like, who are you cheating on me with? And you're like, well,
What the fuck?
bringing your wife back to... And she's so scared.
Yeah.
She's like, why am I here? Why am I strapped down? And he's like, who are you fucking? You know what I mean? Like, what? You brought her back to ask her that? Bringing your wife back to find out who she was cheating with is definitely a choice. Yeah, it kind of blew me away when you... Again, it was a good twist in the fact that I did not see it coming at all.
Yeah.
I really genuinely thought he was trying to tell his wife
Like,
goodbye.
yeah.
Money's no object. I'll give you as much money as you want. Just let me tell my wife goodbye. She died in a car accident. I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to tell her I love her. I get that. So when you get the twist of, who are you fucking? You know, you're like, wait a minute. What? That's why you brought her back?
Yeah.
That's the reason? Like, I don't know. I don't think anybody that lost their wife would want to bring them back for that reason. I could be crazy. But
I think Neil's crazy. Yeah. Because actually, Neil is the reason his wife got into the car accident. He drugged his wife. And that's how she died. So maybe he felt guilty about that. But it's just like... Dude.
Maybe he was trying to justify to himself, like, I drugged her and killed her, but, you know, she was cheating on me, so she deserved it. Which she didn't.
No.
And she wasn't even cheating on him.
She wasn't. See, it was just in his head. Like, you crazy?
Yeah, but he drugged her. She got in the car to leave, and she passed out, and that's how she died. And it's like, I'm starting, like, I really liked Neil at the beginning. You know, when he had the conversation with his mom, I was like, Neil, you're making me not pull for you as hard now, buddy.
No.
And then he kills our lead. Like, he straight up kills Iris, throws her off the building so that he can take over the pub and have Baghead for himself.
Yeah,
and
that way he can bring his wife back whenever he wants. And, it's...
The big thing about the movie is you cannot let the witch out of the basement. Well, she tricks Neil because she gets in your head. So Neil kills Iris, and then Iris comes back because Baghead eats her phone, I believe, and that brings her back. And she's like, you fucking idiot. Like, you're a fucking idiot, pretty much.
Well, he wants her to sign it over to him.
Right.
So
and
that's
she's
why
like, what are you, you know, and it doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't work that way until the witch, that movie ends with everybody dead and the witch being set free into the city.
Yeah.
Which, again, dark ending. Love it. Mm-hmm. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. I did enjoy the movie. I thought that, you know, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. I lied. Just because the amount of tropes and everything that bring it down, it just... I don't know. It had so many good ideas. I need to watch the short film. I feel like I would adore the short film. But I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to that. Mm-hmm. But it is a great idea. It's a fantastic idea. But it just got drugged down a little bit to me with all the tropes and the unanswered questions, and especially him trying to bring his wife back to find out why she was cheating. That, to me, was crazy. So I'm going to get... You know what? Fuck it. I'll meet in the middle. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I'm going to argue with myself so much.
Are you sure?
Final answer, 3 out of 5.
Okay. I am also going to give it a 3 out of 5.
I took out all the arguing so that way you can make it.
I already have my number.
Right.
No, but honestly, I like the idea of it. It's an original horror movie, and we've been asking to get these, and so I do like the idea of it. And I like the witch. I think she's terrifying. The way they have her crawling on the ceiling, and then she eats the person's belongings to bring that person back. I love all of that. But yeah, some of the CGI is poo-poo, like normal. You know, CGI makes things worse sometimes. And acting, great.
The acting is definitely... If the acting would have been not up to the part was, it probably would have been... seriously, I probably would have gave this a 1.5 or a 2.
Yeah.
The acting alone brought this movie up a couple skulls because that's how well the acting was. I'm not bullshitting when I say this was my favorite acted movie of the year. Yeah. And that's not a slam at anybody else. There's been a lot of great acting... Stop motion had great acting. Been a lot of great acting in movies this year. A Late Night with the Devil. But the acting in this movie is so well done.
Yeah, it's just very believable, very emotional, and if you can make me feel, then you absolutely, even if it's, you know, anger, like if you can make me feel anger at you, then you're doing your job. So
right. So we do want to thank you guys for watching. Let us know in the comments, what did you think of Baghead? What did you like? What did you dislike? Have you seen the short film? And if so, what did you think of that? So if you haven't already, guys, please like and subscribe. It helps build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror,
Stay who you are.
and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.